Haney. Turn that sideways, champ, so that it doesn't blur you out. When it's up and down, it automatically puts a blur.
Okay. I was wondering what was going on, man.
Yeah, what up?
How you brothers doing, man?
Hey,
man,
we doing good.
We doing all
good.
right,
How
man.
you doing?
We're talking this great sport of boxing, man.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to you guys, man, for taking one of the harder jobs and in the world, you know what I mean? It's covering boxing and all the opinions, man. And you know what I mean? Keep working, Ness.
Yeah, nah, totally. Are you coming to break some news? We got some Devin Haney news?
No, I mean, you know what? I had just been tuning in to the whole, Chris Colbert thing, you know what I'm saying? And just been watching it, you know what I'm saying, from like a distance. And then I just kind of wanted to come on and talk about that for a second.
Oh, man. Okay, let's see where you're going to take this.
Let me just ask you this, Bill, right
touchy
quick.
Subject for people, for real. So it's like, oh.
Let me just ask you something right quick, Bill, because you too have a hard job of being, a father, you a promoter, you know what I'm saying? Like that job right there. But see, I want to know, how do you objectively, because people have a hard time handling objectivity in boxing. And every time anybody challenge what you think about Devin's career as opponents, you find a way to objectively manage that and negotiate that. And I'm not trying to be funny when I say that, but what is it that makes you feel like, you're able to discuss it more so, even regardless if it's your son? How do you deal with that? Like, how do you deal with that so objectively?
Well, with Devin, it's just a little bit different because he truly has a talent that's, been given from God. He's truly blessed with a lot of physical attributes that help him in the sport of boxing. He always says that, boxing called him. He didn't call on the boxing. So, it's been quite an easy road with him. He's always been he was a standout amateur, you know what I mean? When he started as a coach, the first coach that we went to, a guy by the name of Derek Harmon, ex-fighter who fought with Roy Jones, who now works over there with Top Rank, who described Devin as a natural. So it's been easy. A lot more easier with Devin in the sport of boxing than some of my other kids in their respective sports.
So, before you get into, I guess, Colbert, man, we got Amari Jones. What is he, July 16th in Atlanta, right?
Absolutely. He's working hard, and he's getting ready to. It's his third fight. He's 2-0 with two knockouts. Another standout amateur, won a bunch of national tournaments and stuff like that. So we're looking forward to him and what he brings to the table. He looks a future world champion and a very promising career.
What division is he?
Yeah, I was about to say the same question.
He fights at 54.
Okay, sexy.
You know what I'm saying? He fights at 54.
Do you foresee him?
There's been talks about him maybe even going down to 147.
Okay.
But right now he's at 154.
Okay. Because I was just gonna ask, do you foresee him winning a title at that division, or is there another division in mind for campaigning at? But you've pretty much answered it. I guess as he gets more active, the weight will come off on its own.
Yeah, well, similar to even the way that Sean Porter and his dad, did it. They started out initially big. Amari is also, he was also a great football player as well, in school and everything. So I think as he matures, both inside and outside the ring, then we'll get a chance to tell. Does his discipline, as he matures, get him down to 47, or is he just a growing kid and have to stay go down to 47, or is he just a growing kid that'll have to stay at 54 and maybe even higher?
For sure. What do you think it is about Atlanta? Because obviously they're doing a lot of club shows over there, and Tank has even gone over there now and made that his second home. And Atlanta's really receptive to boxing. So what do you think it is, and what do you like about the market?
Well, Atlanta is being described as Black Hollywood. You know what I mean? They come out. They come out for the events, whatever event it is, whether it's a BET Awards show or whether it's a boxing show. they're very supportive of of entertainment, especially when it got some brothers and sisters that's involved. So shout out to the ATL and being the next one of the next boxing hubs.
Yeah, man, they really, really showed out for the Tank fight. Did you watch that? What was your thoughts of Tank testing out the 140-pound division?
I think that he did good. He's same old Tank. You know what I'm saying? Same old Tank to me. Just like everyone is saying is, we haven't seen a different Tank. We've heard that there is another Tank.
So you've heard it too. So you've heard it too.
Well, yeah, I just heard it on the show, and I've heard it, other people describe it, but I haven't seen it. I've seen the same old Tank.
And you don't know him from the amateurs? You've never bumped into them in the amateur system?
Well, when we went up to the Upton gym for Devin to spar him, Tank was already a pro and Devin was an amateur.
And the sparring took place?
And the sparring took place, exactly.
How old was Devin?
Devin was probably about 14 or 15, something like that. It was young. Wow. He was young. And then the second sparring session happened.
But this was Mayweather's before. Gym. The first one was before he got with Mayweather, I'm assuming, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. It was before he was with Al. He was with Al then.
Oh.
And Tank was with Al. Then I believe he was definitely a pro. He wasn't a world champion, and he wasn't with Mayweather. Mm-hmm.
So you are not ready to announce anything with Devin, but any future endeavors with Devin? Are you interested in that Atlanta market and bringing Devin to that market? And do you foresee that do you think that Atlanta could embrace him the way they have Tank, or like Danny Garcia told me in an interview, Tank has just found his pocket, and that's where he's doing his thing? Or do you think it could be like that for another, young black champion like Devin Haney?
Oh, absolutely. We are, Devin has fought in Atlanta before, earlier on in his career. So we got a small taste of what the Atlanta environment brings and the energy that it brings. Devin, of course, growing up on the West Coast, has always looked to take over Las Vegas after Floyd had left it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we had a great show in Las Vegas, our last show with Linares. And, of course, anything is possible. You know what I mean? Devin would like to travel around the world and fight, not just around the U.S., but the Atlanta market, man, is something special for real.
Yeah, man. Devin's event was definitely a fantastic time. I was in the building. Mm-hmm. Impressive performance, obviously, mm-hmm. He got hit. It's a fight. So do you see that Tank fight in the future for your son? And what year is that future when you envision it? Or you think that never happens based on no sparring sessions? They'll probably keep him away.
Well, I mean, when we talked about it, or when you ever heard Floyd ever talk about it, Floyd said that the Devin would probably go up, and then, Tank was at a different weight. Tank was at 130. Tank dropped down to, when they were at 135 together, Tank dropped down to 130, and then Floyd said that Devin would be going up to 140, so he said the fight probably couldn't happen. But it's a fight that we've always been interested in. We know that we bring some things that we haven't seen in Tank, right? Tank brings some things that you haven't seen in Devin. So it's a perfect matchup of the perfect boxer against the perfect puncher, right?
Now listen, Devin did what he was supposed to do, right? I myself would have ridiculed him if he would have tried to stand there and fight as a hurt individual. But I can only imagine, how does he react to a Tank right hand? Like that. Tank, man, the way Tank put that right hook on Barrios, that shit was impressive. Now, obviously, Devin is not Barrios, but will he be able to withstand that power? But the thing about it is, it was a what you guys are describing as
looping, flying gazelle punch or something like
You
that.
heard that shit?
You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
shout out to Bill, man.
Right.
Why you
Right.
such a real one, man? Yo, you really heard the show last night, man. Thank you, man. No, you don't understand. That shit is official. I love when people really listen. Like, thank you,
absolutely.
man. You official, man. He said that's Doomy's favorite punch, the flying gazelle.
Yeah, that's being described as that, you know.
Oh, shit.
But I've heard the gazelle punch before. I've heard that old schoolers describe that. You know what I'm saying?
Doomy right now with a smile in his day job.
Right. So, you know, shout out to Tank and his trademark gazelle punch. But that was nothing that impressed us or our camp. You know what I'm saying? Our team. That shot. That's a shot that a fighter like Barrios, who's leaning over his front foot, right? Leaning over his front foot is prone to that kind of shot. But a fighter like Devin, who fights off his back foot, won't get hit with a flying gazelle punch. And the lead left hand, a lead left hand has to come from a farther distance. You know what I'm saying? When a orthodox fighter is fighting on his back foot like Devin. So, you know, the thing that, you know, I saw in Tank that really impressed me, you know what I mean? The only thing that I could say that I saw was the backflip off the top turnbuckle.
That was, you seen Kenny and Calvin like, oh my God. They had their hands out like just in case. They were about to catch that boy. I was nervous for that.
That was planned.
No.
I don't think that was planned on the team's part. Tank jumped up there and did it.
Not.
So, you know what I mean? It was impressive to me. I mean, that was definitely something that me and Devin as a team aren't going to be working on no time soon. You know what I mean? So, you know, shout out to Tank.
Y'all not working on for doing backflips.
Yeah. Shout out to Tank and the big backflip as well.
Hey, when you heard after that fight and you hear the announcement that they're gonna keep things in house, you know, and then you talk about the prospects of that fight even happening in the future or not. Like what do you think about that? Do you think that closes off some opportunities you guys might have been looking for? Or does that just kind of let you know that you got to keep, you know, steering, you know, in your own direction like you guys been doing?
Well, I mean, it's two things that we understand by that comment. You know what I'm saying? Is the first is that it's bullshit. You know what I mean? And the second is it's bullshit. You know what I mean? Because, and I'm gonna tell you why, is because when you say that you're gonna make them all in-house, but then you come back and you start talking about Ryan Garcia. You see what I'm saying? It's a direct contradiction, right? They say they offered Ryan the fight. They say that Leonard Ellaby now says that that's a fight that's going to be a big fight later on down the road. It's one of the biggest fights in boxing. So I think that they're picking their poisons, you know?
Do you believe that they were trying to make that fight back in March and Ryan was the cause of it not happening? Because that's what Leonard Ellaby said on his Instagram, or rather his Twitter. He came out and said, like, for the record, we tried to make that fight back in March, and Oscar and, you know, Golden Boy said that Ryan wasn't interested at the time because he was going to be fighting soon, but he still hasn't fought.
Well, I mean, if you go to try to make a fight happen with Ryan Garcia and he's not a champion, right? And then, you know, and you're quote unquote the face of boxing, right? And you're that dominant of a fighter. We never got a call to try to make a fight happen. And Devin is a world champion at 135. And also Tank was the number one, contender or ranked number one in the WBC at one time before he dropped down to fight Leo Santa Cruz.
Well, Chris Colbert seems to think that what Tank done was special. He feels that Shakur could have done the same thing to Barrios, but it would have been a little bit boring. What do you think about Chris Colbert and, I guess a fight with Tank? That's the fight that he wants. He doesn't believe it can be done. but that is the fight that he wants.
You know what? I didn't hear in that interview him saying that that's the fight that he wants. Did he say that in that interview? With so much being said, and I think a lot of callers as well as me, right? You concentrate on one thing, and you know what I mean. Right now, I watched the video, and
he said he would beat him. He literally said, "I'd beat him." You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. I didn't remember him saying that.
He didn't say, I want it, but he said I would beat him, and they won't give it to him, and it's because of politics. He also said he's not a draw. Tank is a draw, so it don't make sense. Like, it was a very sane. I mean, I think that part is still out. That part should still be out, the Tank part, because that was not a bad part. You know, it was. I think it's his reaction of the fight, and you know.
Well, if politics, and he's with Al, Chris Colbert is with Al, Tank is with Al, and you say that the politics won't. What kind of politics is that? They're on the same side of the street.
Mayweather's following a green print, right? So it's like, you gonna mess up the bag and put him. They didn't even put him in there with Tevin. I don't know why, because he looks great. He looks dominant. But they didn't put him in there with Tevin. Why would they put him in there with Colbert? If you're going to put him in with a slick back fight, might as well do Tevin first, who's got less punching power, already has suffered some losses, so there's like that blueprint out there, you know.
But I think Tevin wasn't with the PBC brand. He was with Eddie at that time. So I thought that was
he probably was
what
with
the hang-up
Eddie.
was.
Probably was with Eddie when he got a little more popular, but he was always with Lou. And that fight, they built that fight. I think it was when maybe Lomachenko fought in the harbor, or someone fought in the harbor, and they both was there. I was there, and like they had a big thing, and that was, I don't know how many years ago, and that is what caused people to want that fight. But nevertheless,
I mean, you can't right now with 1 minute, you know, Ellaby says that Tank picked Barrios, right? And they went with it, right? So for a minute there, you know what I mean, I was under the belief that Tank was actually being a boss, right? Then he, you know, Ellaby says that he's scared of the fight, and Tank picked the fight. Then when he destroyed Barrios, he comes back and says he's fighting anybody that they put in front of him. You know what I'm saying?
Tank says that.
Tank said that. Yeah, Tank said that. So those were two conflicting, you know, statements on their part as a team.
But Bill, I mean, if you got Mayweather in your corner, you're one of the highest paid.
But you don't just have Mayweather in your corner. You got him in the stands. You got him up in the press box. I mean, you got him. Shit. You may as well have Mayweather. You may as well have Mayweather in there refereeing the fight.
So you telling me you wouldn't want that?
Of course you would.
That's like residual exposure. Like if he was in the stands for Devin, kind of coaching from the side for that, people gonna talk and write about that too. I mean, it's publicity at the end of the day, no? No, absolutely. I mean, Mayweather is TBE. You know what I'm saying? So, but let's say it for what it was. I mean, Tank definitely had an advantage, and the fact that he had Mayweather, who didn't recognize any of the rules of a traditional boxing commission, right? And when he came over and told Tank what he told him, it sparked a lot. It gave him a spark. You know what I mean? And that was the same round that he went out there and stopped him. So you're saying you believe Tank was down on the cards, or it was even? Like, you think that's what Mayweather, you know, like that Mayweather really believed that when he said it?
I mean, I don't know if Mayweather got a chance. Did he have, you know what I mean, a television in the arena with him, or was he looking over far hoods and them shoulders when he knew what the unofficial cards, or did he have an earpiece, somebody else watching the TV? But when he said you were down on,
somebody could have texted him.
Yeah, somebody could have texted him. So you know what I mean. That when you talk about all these different things that are happening, you talk about now, instead of Tank having 3 people in the corner, right, and the same 3 people that Barrios had, Tank had 4. You know what I'm saying? So Tank had 4 people working the corner than actually having 3.
Yeah. So you're saying if you ever face Tank in the pre-fight meeting, are you gonna bring that up to the referee? Should that be an infraction on Tank's team? Because I know in Carlos Molina versus James Kirkland, if someone from the corner steps on the apron, the fight's automatically disqualified. That's how James Kirkland lost. Obviously, Floyd is on the outside, but he's still in. What it sounds like to me, you're saying is like he's acting as a 4th cornerman, and
absolutely,
and the other side is at a disadvantage because of that.
No, absolutely, and I don't think that in Las Vegas that they will allow it. You know what I mean? I don't think in California that they'll allow it, but I think based on Floyd's celebrity, Georgia, you know what I mean, and the fact that they don't have a whole lot of big fights there, you know, kind of overlooked it. You know what I mean? They didn't catch it, but I think that Georgia now will then, if the next time it happens, being that everyone is kind of talking about it, maybe they might, you know. But I heard the same thing happened in Texas as well. That Floyd was everywhere.
Yeah, man. He's like you said, he's TBE. So what are your thoughts on Colbert, man? I mean, obviously you jumped on for that.
You know, this is one of the rare times that I see a fighter has so much energy about another fighter or fight during fight week. You know what I mean? Which is surprising to me, all the intensity that comes with fighting, that you have that much energy and that much thought for another fighter, and especially being a world champion and Colbert not being a world champion. You know, I think the correct thing is to say is that we as fans are the winners in that fight in the trilogy, right? And we truly are. And to describe Wilder as being some kind of sucker when the balls that it takes to get in there and fight a third fight after you suffered a loss that you suffered in the second fight is, you're no way a sucker. And anybody that's on the sidelines talking negative about a fighter that's entertaining us, that's getting in the ring, especially after you then took a tough loss and not taking a tune-up fight, is far from a sucker, no matter what kind of strategy he's going into it with the headphones and, you know, all the other things that are being said, you know, the war of words, the war of nerves, you know what I mean? If we can honestly say that what Floyd was doing, right, was okay and acceptable, then we should be able to say that everything that Wilder is saying and everything that he's doing is also acceptable, because it's just a war. It's a war between one fighter and another to get an edge mentally, you know, and psychologically.
So, Bill, let me ask you, though. If somebody says, just for argument's sake, they say, yo, Chris Colbert is a sucker for making those comments about Wilder, right? I think just what we have here, you know, is people are entitled to their opinion, and I'm not using that as a blanket statement, but I think when he made the statement about Fury making Wilder look like a sucker, I think that's the part that people keep misconstruing. It's not that Chris Colbert, and even if he said it, you know, and again, I don't remember him saying it, I remember him saying it, but he's saying Fury, the way he treated both Malik Scott and Tyson and Deontay Wilder, he made him look like a sucker. That's the way he saw it, you know. But I wouldn't see that no different if somebody said, "Well, I think Chris Colbert looks like a sucker from the way he's commenting on another fighter, you know, with not showing the same." So I just think that, you know, it's good. He's using it more for publicity than he's trying to make a statement about Wilder Fury. You know what I'm saying? He's doing a lot of talking. It's fight week. You never seen as much action during fight week?
I mean, yeah, I just want to touch on that. Like, I was the one who conducted the interview. I went to his gym, or not his gym, but the gym he was in Miami. And, yeah, I don't know that the energy, like you said, like, oh, anyone that has this much energy, I just think that's him. You know, like the way he reacts. And that's why I chose I think it was the day before yesterday or maybe yesterday, to show that by going back to interviews that I've done with him on the very same topic all the way back in August of 2018. And he sounds exactly the same except for the pitch of his voice because he was a lot younger 3 years ago. And then we played another one from October 2018. And then another one after the win. This has been his energy. Bill, the issue is Fight Hype is a powerhouse. So when the interview got on that channel, obviously more people heard it, but ain't nobody called me to take down the last 4 that he done throughout the years with me. The initial prediction on the first fight, his reaction on the first fight after the outcome, then his prediction on the second fight, then his reaction on, like, all that is still documented there. So I don't think that his energy was animated or heightened for any reason. You know, it's just his energy for this particular fight. And like, for instance, when I pick it right, I don't have the right to gloat. Like, yeah, I knew Haney was gonna knock him out. Like, why the fuck can I be happy the same way like I could be mad? Like, fuck, he knocked Haney out.
Yeah, no, you as media and the fans, right, who pay the bills, right, have every right to show whatever emotion that you get or whatever reaction that you get from it. You know what I mean? But as a fellow fighter or as someone in the business, right, it's just certain things that you don't do when it's not your business, right? An OG told me one time, too much, being in too much of somebody else's business will take you right out of your business, right? And for this guy, Chris Colbert, and I would say more so, instead of him being a sucker, he was more a clown to me. He was on some clown shit, right? And instead of staying focused with his fight at hand and Tug, that he's speaking on that, and he's speaking in a way that a fellow fighter shouldn't speak, in terms of how the guy is looking at the press conference. The guy has signed up to have a third fight, right? And he knows what the energy that it takes to get in the ring, right? He knows how he's feeling, no matter what you'll say outwardly, right? You know that you have a certain some certain butterflies and that kind of energy with any time you go into the ring. Mike Tyson said that he was scared to death every time he went into the ring. So the gentleman in Wilder has signed up for the fight. Fury has signed up for the fight. So saying that anyone is looking like a sucker at the press conference, right, or he made him look like a sucker, right, is not right, and it's false, right? It's false. And when you say that Chris Colbert didn't say he looked like a sucker, he absolutely said he was a sucker when he said he made him look like it, because it was of his opinion that Wilder is looking like a sucker, right? He didn't say, well, somebody else said that, or he said he had him. So Tyson Fury sucker never came out his mouth. Wilder sucker never came out his mouth. Sucker came out of Colbert's mouth because he said that was of his opinion. That was of his mindset of what Wilder was looking like. So to me, it was one and the same.
I get it, and I guess I can see that because the interviews were individualized, but he gave predictions on Pacquiao versus Spence, Fury versus Wilder, Plant versus Canelo, himself versus Tank, Shakur versus Tank, Valdez versus Tank. Man, I had him for like an hour. So again, to me, I'm asking for his prediction. He didn't run up to me like, yo, let me get I want you to get my feelings or my thoughts on Wilder and his fight. I came to Miami. He's training, like you said, it's fight week. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking him those questions. If I don't ask his prediction, we not even in this predicament. If I would say, hey, Colbert, which I also said Colbert versus Shakur, because he said Shakur versus Barrios would be boring because Shakur is so good, he don't get hit, he makes it boring. So I said, what about you versus Shakur? Would it be boring? He's like, nah, not with me, because he's gonna try not to make it boring by trying to get taking chances. He said. So I asked him a lot of predictions, man. I asked him a lot of predictions. But yeah, it's okay. I understand.
It's okay. It's okay to have predictions, and it's okay to feel, to me, to be confident about your weight class and what's happening in your weight class. But when you disrespect boxing and go to another weight class and you're not a world champion, you go to a heavyweight division and start casting certain opinions about fighters, right? When there's what I learned in the business is a fight doesn't happen until the two fighters in the ring, right? And if Wilder was shook about anything, or if he didn't want anything, the fight to happen, it's so many ways to pull out. We've seen that.
Why no one's saying Wilder never wanted to fight. My man went to arbitration to make sure he got his fight. No one questioned his heart.
Okay. So when you go from a strategy point of to have a mental edge that you say, look, I'm the one that got you here. I'm tuning you out, man. I'm putting these headphones on. I'm not paying no. You ain't nothing. I ain't got to listen to you. I ain't paying you no attention. I'm gonna beat your ass. That's a certain strategy that he's picking, that this guy is picking. But for us to sit back and say, oh well, he's shook, or he's acting like a bitch, or he's acting like, you know what I mean? It's just a mental warfare that he's choosing to use. Now, if Tyson Fury comes out and says that, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Fans can say whatever they want to say. Media can say whatever they want to say. But when you're talking about an actual fighter, right? When you're talking about the fighters, right? Because look at Gamboa. He just had Gamboa, right? And Gamboa pulled out, right? For whatever reason that he pulled out.
And he called him a pussy.
Right. Okay. But he has the right to, because that's in his weight division. That's in his weight division. It directly affects him, right?
But Bill, everybody starts in this sport as a fan. You don't start as a professional fighter. You start as a fan. Again, this is somebody I know 0-0. He's been in the Atlas Cops and Kids. Like, he's been an amateur his entire life. He's still a young adult. So he is a fan. And why can't you have a prediction? Like, his prediction is he shouldn't have took the fight. That's what he's saying. Like, he don't see Wilder winning, no way, no how. And that's why it's that animated. So he's saying, I said this the first time and look what happened. So then he's saying, look, this is what happened, and these are the excuses that Wilder's making because that happened. And he's going through them excuses. I don't know.
Well, man. you know how Ness. Imagine if someone, someone cheated you, right? If someone cheated you and you said, you know what, I'm not gonna fight you because you're a cheat. I'm not gonna fight you at all, right? But we've got past that. We've got past all the past things that Wilder has said, right? And Wilder is now fighting this guy, right? He's fighting this guy, and I think that
that's the point, Bill. Right? That is the point that Chris is making. It's like you said all of this, and you didn't produce any proof. And now you get in front of him and you're quiet. That's what he's that's what he's saying.
No, what I'm saying is the lawyers had the arbitration, right? Right. And if it's just like you could say the same thing is that if
oh shit, he got a call.
You signed it. He signed up for it, right? So it would seem that not the person that got cheated wouldn't want to fight, versus the person that was cheating. If Fury never cheated, never did anything, why didn't he want to fight him? Why did they have to go to arbitration? I'm just asking.
Because he didn't want to fight him.
Why?
Because they thought they could find a way out of the contract and make a bigger money fight.
Okay. So if it's a question about your word, no. So what I'm saying is
bad business.
So if you sign, okay, so bad business. So if you're doing bad business, and that's a sign of you doing bad business, then how much bad business have you done, right? Mm-hmm. If now it's clear that you do bad business, Fury, how much bad business have you done thus far, right? Or is it just that you got caught in the arbitration by a judge, right? Which makes you now say, okay, I concede, let's fight. I'm just asking.
I think it's absolutely the way that you say, like, he had to be forced to fight because, like many people in America and around the world, we're opportunists. He's seen an opportunity. I'm sure his team seen an opportunity. Eddie was dangling a carrot, and they went for the loophole. Wilder has a good legal team, and we're at the rematch.
But a legal team versus a signed contract is one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone is saying that it doesn't take a great legal team if you have a signature by the defendant or by the the person that you're. What
we were leaked, the little bit of information we got was obviously only from one party, and it was that there was an alleged expiration. So that that's why, there's a signature. But if it's a time frame and you allegedly expired that, that's probably why they was trying to find their way out of that situation. But I never believed it. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. I felt that he would win and get his rematch. But again, that doesn't have anything to do with anyone's prediction of the fight. It's a prediction.
Right. No. It's one thing to have a prediction, but then it's one thing to then bring up all the other stuff that as a fighter, as someone in the business, we look forward to the fight. At least I know that I was at both of the fights. You know what I'm saying? I was at both of them. And it's definitely the fans are the winners. You know what I'm saying? But all the other stuff going into your fight week, are you really giving the people your thoughts, or are you building your fight up?
Oh, so you think this was a 50 Cent? You think this was a 50 Cent? Like, when 50 would drop an album, he would beef with somebody right before the album dropped.
I don't know. It seems that way. It seems like it could be that way.
Okay. I mean, listen, everybody's entitled to their opinion, Bill. That's all we pressing out here, that everyone should be entitled to their opinion. And you have an opinion that maybe he was drumming up interest for his fight during fight week. And, other people are going to have a different opinion that he dislikes Wilder or even worse, It's an unfortunate situation, man.
He definitely didn't show Wilder any kind of respect or any kind of love, in the sense of, right, you as a fellow fighter, the fight is signed, the press conference then happened, right, and it's on like popcorn. What's next? What's your prediction? If you pick Tyson Fury, then pick Tyson Fury. All the extra shit to me is clown shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just clown shit. It's clown shit as a fighter during your fight week when you're supposed to be concentrating. Now, somebody needs to teach him more of the business, because he downs everybody. He downs Tug, right? He's down in everybody, right? He's not building his fight up.
Didn't Mayweather
he's
do
making
that?
Us, huh?
Didn't Mayweather do that? Didn't Mayweather say no one was on his level and everybody was basically a C-class fighter?
But let's just concentrate on Colbert for a second. Is that when you're going on there and you come out, and I know how you take your time and you come out and you want to, help draw interest in the fight and get some eyeballs and get a fighter's opinion on what they're going to do in the fight. And he's saying that Tug, it's not going to be you know what I mean. Virtually, it's not going to be a great fight. It's not a fight that it won't.
He made it clear Tug ain't on his level. And when I said, but yo, he's a puncher, I came down, and listen, let's take it back because you got it misconstrued. I specifically went to see him because I was impressed. He was supposed to fight Gamboa, that people could criticize him because he's not at the, prime of his career. And normally when a fight gets canceled, you get a lesser opponent. I don't think Tug is a lesser opponent. I think he is a dangerous opponent who's a puncher. Colbert isn't known as a puncher. So that's why I took the time to go see Colbert. When I get there, I was shocked at his opinion. He isn't as worried as me. He doesn't perceive him as a puncher. And he feels like even if he was a puncher at a smaller weight, so moving up, he wouldn't hurt him. He's just saying, he's just dismissing him as a worthy opponent for him because he's too good. He didn't say the fight wouldn't be good. He said he gonna make a statement. And even in the press conference, he said, I'm gonna whoop his ass. He ain't say, oh, I'm gonna just beat him. I don't know. Nah, man. I didn't hear him say that the fight gonna be corny, Bill.
Right.
He said he gonna put hands on that boy.
Yeah, I didn't hear him say the fight was going to be a good fight.
Like,
and
I didn't hear
him say the fight was going to be a good fight, and it's a fight that we as fans need to watch.
Nah, he definitely told you, Gamboa, that he was let down because even though Tug is a better opponent, and I'm paraphrasing, but this is basically what he said. Even though Tug is a better opponent, Gamboa is a better name. So yeah, he was. Tug is
the best opponent that was available after Gamboa. Gamboa has a great name. Tug brings a lot to the table. He was in a good fight with the longest reigning champion, the WBC champion, and Gary Russell. This is going to be a great fight, and a great time for me to showcase my skills. Tug is a former Olympian. Come on, my man. This shit is easy. This shit is light work.
Bro,
you know
but what's wrong with dismissing him and show, like, if you dismiss him and you also do like a Mayweather Canelo where you blank him, then you showing I'm next level. He not on my level. Okay,
but let's stay focused and not stay on Mayweather and what Mayweather might have did, because it's kind of hard to go back to when Mayweather wasn't Money Mayweather, right? Able to do what he does, even as a retired fighter. He does and says a lot of things. He is TBE. So what I'm saying about Chris Colbert, and I'm saying is, when you have the opportunity and you have fight week, he's young though. He's a young fighter, right? But to me, taking the time out to get the people interested in your fight, right? To get the interest in your fight and what's happening, because we're more interested. Are we not more interested in the comment? No, let me ask you. Let me ask you a question.
You want me not to bring up Mayweather, but he gives you the blueprint. He gave you the green print. He even called it the green print. And what did he do?
Can I ask you, are we more interested in this fight?
Got it.
Are we more interested in this fight, or are we more in this fight, or is the people more interested in the comment with Wilder?
I mean, the people, they're more interested in the comments. Me, I'm interested in the fight.
I think at this point,
that's why I went to Miami to see him.
At this point, people are now going to be tuned in to see if he's going to lose or not. You know,
exactly.
And maybe that's the impact he was going for. I get it, Bill. Maybe he don't have enough respect to see the marketing opportunities that you might have seen, but maybe
Mayweather didn't. Why he gotta have respect? Then Mayweather said, "Fucking God, he was a C-class fighter. I'm an A-class fighter. This dude ain't on my level. Why the fuck we gotta be nice all of a sudden and be PC?" Mayweather wasn't out here being nice to nobody. He was choking motherfuckers at weigh-ins. Like, what are we talking about? Why can't he do him the way he want to do him? Why he got to be in his box and be like, oh yeah, Tug's an Olympian and he's a great fighter? No, you a bum. You ain't on my level, and I'm going to show you Saturday night. Goodbye. That's it. And then the selling point is, I want to see this kid lose. But guess what? He too good to lose. He got to prove that, though. Right? He got to prove that. He got to back up that tough talk.
Okay,
I like that. I love Mayweather Gotti. That shit is legendary. What? Name another fight more promoted than Mayweather got. That shit is all over. That whole A class, C class fight. That's a legendary little motherfucking clip. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Who did Mayweather give credit to?
But Gotti did a lot of talking as well going into that fight, right?
And that's fine, but Mayweather dismissed everybody. Nobody's on his level. He's TBE.
Listen, it's because you're talking about two different things. You're talking about Mayweather, and then you're talking about what Chris Colbert did in the interview to promote his fight. Only thing that I'm saying that I said about that is that I think that he did more talking about Wilder and promoting Wilder and Fury's fight than he did promoting his own fight. Just to me, and that's just my opinion about it.
And that's because of the way people reacted. That's all. It's not. He didn't know how people would react to. I mean, obviously, maybe he did. I don't know. Look, all I'm saying is I spoke to him in great length about the Tug fight. And my opinion, how I interpreted his answers is, Tug ain't on his level. You know, while I took the 3-hour ride down there.
Why is Tug not on his level?
He said he fit. I'm gonna have to pull the shit up because I know.
No, I'm asking.
But he said
what is he?
I even questioned him, Bill. He said he's small. I said, Chris, he only 4. You acting like 4 pounds. I literally said that. Like my interviews are like conversation. I'm like, Chris, you acting like 4 pounds is a lot. He's like, man, he's not gonna be. He talked about rehydration as well. He's like, yeah, 4 pounds, but what are you gonna rehydrate to? I'm gonna be like, I don't want to misquote
like 150 something. He said he's gonna be like 150 something.
And I ain't want to misquote him because of that. Look, 150 something. Man, the dude, he's confident in him. He ain't worried about fucking Tug. Why you gotta prop Tug up? No, just outclass him. Outclass him.
Right. Well, if Tug, like I said, if Tug is not bringing nothing to the table, he's going to outclass him. It's something that
but it's a common opponent with Gary. It's a common opponent with Gary, so that's all he got to do. That's all he got to do is outclass him, and he'll get the shine.
He's going into it. He'll be 150 pounds. It's just a lot of things that's being said in promoting his fight that I probably wouldn't want Devin to do, right? And then spend more time promoting Tyson Fury, right? He's promoting Tyson Fury as being a bad motherfucker, and what he did to Wilder. What time did you spend saying what you did to your last opponent, right? And how, it's just like I said, like an OG told me, being in somebody else's business might take you out your own business, right? Just to me. And
it's sad that if he's being asked his prediction, it's still being interpreted as being in someone's business. He's literally being asked the question. He could choose what you want him to say. No comment. It's fight week. So
you asked him about Glovegate?
Hell yeah. I said that. So you don't believe the gloves? And he said no. I got some MX. I could do this. And then Danny said it too. I was countering everything he said. I brought the counter and I still got ridiculed. But yeah, man. No, I asked the questions. That's my job.
Well, listen. I don't know what PR person that was there, but I would have been right there saying, talk about us. Talk about Devin and who we fighting. No, don't talk about all that. What we talking about? Wilder, Fury, and the gloves and what they do. For what? For what? For what?
I hear you, man. I hear you.
You know what I mean?
For what? Because you're being asked that question.
Just as a fellow.
I mean, because you're being asked that question. That's why, because you're being asked that question. It's as simple as that. You're answering it because you're being asked that. Now, you can choose to say, I don't got no comment on that fight, and you will be labeled. Right. There are other fighters out here that choose not to give comments, choose not to do interviews, and they pay-per-views are self-explanatory of that attitude and personality. It is indicative of your personality how well you do on pay-per-view. You see Tank's personality. He ain't out here hot and shit he doing. He getting good publicity and he getting bad publicity, and he on pay-per-view. consistently. Sold out Atlanta. You know,
also
Mayweather attitudes, they get the attention. How much attention is Canelo getting now with his little bit of English, Bill?
But listen.
Oh, how much attention did Andre get? How much attention did Andre get with his little bit of you know?
I'll get there, but when you talk about Atlanta and you talk about Tank's audience, what Tank's audience is and Tank's fans are Floyd's fans. They you know, Devin shares the same fans as Tank as well as Floyd. He just has a smaller group of those fans, but the fans are Floyd Mayweather fans, right? When you talk about filling up a stadium, you don't just come for Tank. You come for the whole TBE, TMT, the whole show.
That's assumption. That is totally assumption. We can't say that. We don't even have analytics for that to be like, yeah, are you buying your ticket for Floyd or for Tank? Come on, man. Nah. So you don't believe that Tank fought twice in Atlanta. Tank put them butts in them seats in Atlanta.
Right, and you don't think that was TMT or Mayweather Promotions that put them in there?
I'm not naive, so I'm not gonna say that every single ticket was solely intended for Tank and that no one was there with the hopes of seeing Mayweather. But I'm also not gonna say that every single ticket was for Mayweather and TMT and Tank is just getting residual. Nah, they there to see Tank. I interviewed people. It don't matter. Matter of fact, I remember that. I smoke a lot. What the fuck? Who was that? I interviewed people after the fight, which I think they never once said, and that's what I'm telling dudes. Like, dudes better stop coming at Tank trying to force a fight because he don't need nobody. Nobody in that crowd said to me, man, he should be fighting Josh Taylor, man. Why he ain't fighting Josh Taylor? No, they didn't care. It was Byron. Man, Tank did what he had to do. Tank got the knockout. Man, Tank looked good. It wasn't no negativity. They don't care about opponent over there. They care about a show, and he put on a show. So
absolutely. But when you see that QC you see that QC on that turnbuckle, quality control music, right? You see Lil Baby coming out with Tank, right? In Atlanta, you talk about Black Hollywood. You talk about Al Heyman being the biggest and best promoter of hip hop and music. You know, venues and stuff like that.
Sound like Tank made some smart business choices. He aligned himself with some powerful people that got him in the right position.
No, absolutely. But when you actually talk about the fighters that Tank is fighting and what Tank brings to the table, it's a culmination of both of them. And I'm saying TBE, Floyd Mayweather, has a whole lot to do with it. That's the only thing I'm saying. And I don't take anything away from
absolutely
Tank.
There's an influence there. Absolutely, there's an influence there. But I do not believe people are coming out to Atlanta because Floyd is doing a show. They coming out because Tank doing a show. I was there.
I respect it. I respect it.
I was there. I'm asking women, like, Tank bringing you out? And they know what's out there. You understand? They know who is out there. So I don't know. But what else? I mean, are you giving a prediction on Chris Colbert's fight this weekend?
I haven't saw Chris Colbert fight since the amateurs, right?
Has Devin ever been in the ring with him, or has he been too small? Because I know Chris is a bit thin.
Yeah, Chris never would make it to the finals in amateurs.
Oh, you shooting your shot.
He didn't really.
You taking a little bit of shot there.
No. What I'm just telling you, I'm just saying is that Chris, as an amateur fighter, I don't remember him having a bunch of the national titles and all that other stuff. When we went to Brooklyn, I believe that is Brooklyn. He fights out the same gym as Richard Hitchinson and Shushu, right?
Yes, Shushu more than Hitchinson. Hitchinson no longer trains there. He went with Lenny.
When we went up there to put in some work, Chris Colbert was doing the same thing he doing when you was interviewing, talking.
Oh, so you saying he ain't spar with you?
No, I said he was talking. He didn't want no work. He was talking. That's all he was doing.
I mean, did y'all get there late? Did he already work out? Was
No,
it not his workout day?
No, we sparred Richard Hitchinson.
And he just watched.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, he probably wasn't in shape, Bill. Trying to get him out of shape. Nah,
I mean, like I said, if Chris Colbert, you know, we went to Upton Gym for Tank. We knew about Tank. We also went down to Newark, you know, because we knew about Shakur. Went to Brooklyn. Went to the Bronx for Josue Vargas. Went to Brooklyn over there with Zab and them. I forgot who was in Brooklyn. You know, we've traveled all over. You know what I'm saying? We've traveled all over to get that work from the who's who of Hoodiesville. You know what I'm saying? And
that's impressive.
But Chris Colbert talking. That's what he do. He do a whole lot of talking, right? So, but one thing that he has done with his last rant, his last talk with you, is got me interested in watching him fight. So I will be tuning in if that's what he set out to do. Right? He did a good job. Now he has to do the other part.
And that's what this particular show is for.
Right.
Like, he's got to capitalize on all that drama.
Right. But he's 24. Devin is 22. You see what I'm saying? So get started, man. You know what I mean? Come on and get started, man. Run through Tug.
I mean, it's not a race, though. It's a marathon.
No, what I'm saying. Oh yeah, it's definitely a marathon.
Because everybody started at a different time.
But when you get a voice that loud and that much of an opinion to talk about Deontay Wilder, the way that you said he has a right to.
Yeah. Let me explain something to you. Chris Colbert, right, is one of the most underrated fighters. Shakur Stevenson holds a title, right, and it's because he fought for a vacant. Okay. Other than that, on his resume, he got Joet Gonzalez, which is the vacant, and then he got Pitufo, Christopher Diaz, you know, Burchell, Francisco Vargas, you know, names like that. Nobody is fighting nothing special, and they got tons of fights. The only one near the same amount of fights as Colbert is Shakur, and again, their resumes, I don't even know if it's comparable. Chris is the one fighting all the undefeated fighters. You know, Chris is a former world champion. You know, Chris is taking on Tug. You know what I mean? Maybe you're right. Maybe he ain't have that road, and that's why it's a marathon, not a race. But Chris got Numbayar on his resume, and Aboleda on his resume, and Jarrell Corrales on his resume, and Beltran on his resume, and Mercado on his resume, and Austin Dulé on his resume, and Titus Williams from New York on his resume. Like, Chris got Antonio Dubasi on his resume, and all those are O's he took from kids. Like, he ain't been no punk. He 15-0. He 15-0. He put his O on the line early, where people don't do what he do. So I respect him. You know, these are 15 fights that he fought in front of people on television and undefeated fighters. And just like this particular fight, and I repeat it again, that's why I took the 3-hour drive, he ain't fighting no, I don't know, what's my man on the undercard? Ain't somebody fighting John Fernandez? Nobody know who John Fernandez. I'm not saying John Fernandez ain't good, but we never heard of him, and we all been doing this shit for so long. You know what I mean? So it's like,
we done seen Neon Bar. We seen him over there at Gooson's gym. You know what I'm saying? We done seen Neon Bar. We didn't, you know. So we know what Neon Bar is bringing to the table. You know what I'm saying? Right?
I don't want him to get this, you know, like fall into some bubble. Like, he out here putting his resume on the line trying to get to the top. He's got the same type of Rigondeaux, you know, not necessarily Loma, because obviously Loma had title opportunities a lot quicker, but he ain't, you know, he ain't a Ryan Garcia. You understand? But he's taking more chances than the Ryan Garcia. So, you know, Gotta respect that, especially in 15 fights. Come on, man. Put that resume against anybody with 15-0 right now, man. Tough. Tough.
He's 24 years old, man. He's 24 years old. How old is Tank? What is Tank?
26 or something like that.
26?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Tank was a world champion by 24. Right?
I would have to check, but he fought Peldraza. I don't know what year is that. We'll have to look it up.
Yeah, it was more than a couple years. It was more than a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? But he gave.
But that's the thing, though.
He gave Tank his props.
You still giving everybody. You still mentioning names that got. You still mentioning names that have that help. Colbert don't got a Floyd. You know what I mean? He don't got a Floyd. He said it in his interview. I'm not an Al Heyman boy. You know, he not. He's like Wilder, man. That's why I don't get why they fucking shitting on him. You know, he's a proud black man that speaks his motherfucking mind. The way he wants to speak it.
Bro, listen, I don't have any problem. I understand him speaking his mind about his business and about the 130-pound division or the one, in or around his division, right? Makes perfectly good sense to me. But as a proud black man, right, the fighter, then already signed up for the fight. He did the press conference. What makes it proud that you shit on the man and another fellow fighter when the guy's about to fight him? I mean, okay, so if he didn't sign to fight him, yeah, that's one thing. Or if the fight hasn't happened, what's proud about that? What's proud about that? You as a fighter, you're doing your fight week, right? Shitting on this other guy who has a fight coming up, a hard fight at that, right? A fight coming off a loss, right? What's fly about that? I mean, I hear people saying it, but what's fly about that opinion?
I mean, listen, your opinion doesn't have to be popular. It's still yours. Still yours.
Hey, let me ask you, Bill. You familiar with the whole Snoop and Eminem thing? When Eminem or Snoop said, "Yo, I don't listen to Eminem. I don't know nobody in the hood that listen to Eminem, you know, and he sold millions of records, but I don't listen to him." You're like, you know what I'm saying? I think he gave his opinion and Eminem was salty about it. And I'm just saying, like, some people will say, "Oh, you know, you shouldn't have said that because, you know, you was down with Dr. Dre and blah, 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 blah." But
he was being funny. He was being funny, my dude. Y'all act like he wasn't clowning. See, now that's the one thing is everyone has an opinion, right? And it's okay. So I have an opinion, right? You say it's okay for him to have an opinion. My opinion is that he was clowning, right? He was fucking around clowning during fight week, right? Clowning another fellow fighter.
What if I pull up the interview? No, I ain't trying to. I apologize. I apologize.
No, but you know, and that's what I was here to say. Is I'm saying is during fight week, right? If the opponent is who you say it is, and you're so serious about impressing the people and all the stuff that goes into a fight, right? And how you gotta look during that fight week, right? You're talking about another world champion who signed up. You guys are on the same PBC or whatever. He signed up. He's already signed the contract to fight, Ness. They've already did the press conference, right? The fight is bigger than you. You know, the fight is bigger than Chris Colbert, right? The fight don't need no help, right? It's on every channel on the shit. If you're not trolling, right, then what are you doing? If your opinion, you're giving an opinion about it, but you're clowning the man. Now, opinion, an intelligent assessment, he had some intelligence in there as well, right? But he had a lot of sarcasm and a lot of clowning in there as well. You know what I'm saying? It was mixed up. So I'm not saying that he doesn't know boxing. He's been fighting, you know what I mean, probably forever as a kid, right? Growing up. So he does have some intelligence, but he was also knew that he was clowning the man. And I'm saying is, what man or what fighter deserves to be clowned after they've signed the contract, after they did the press conference, after all that? To me, I'm just asking.
Bill, that's your interpretation, and this is why I have to pull up, right? November 1st. Remember, I told you I got 2 more, October and August. But let's go to November, right? And this is Chris Colbert, November 1st, 2018. So he wasn't any more popular then than he is now, right? And let's see if this doesn't change your opinion.
So obviously here with Chris Colbert, talk to me about Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. No, first, did you see Tyson Fury in the LA media workout that he had on the 25th?
Stomach look big?
No, just the power work. I was kind of hoping you seen the power work, see what you thought about his power, because he was looking pretty sharp to me.
I really think that's gonna be a great fight. He really have a big chance. He should have never took this fight before he took the Joshua fight.
He being who? Wilder.
Wilder.
Oh wow! So you think?
Subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notification.
My bad. I went back by mistake, but I wanted to pause it because right there in 2018, he said he should have never took this fight before the Anthony Joshua fight. Now, what does that mean? Because he felt he was going to lose and he won't get the Joshua fight. So he was right. So now y'all asking him not to gloat, right? When everybody, everybody shitted on him for this prediction 3 years ago. But let's play it. Let's play it.
But he might be making intelligent assessment then while he was in front of the projects, right? But when you when it comes, yeah, I've just seen it. But so it's saying you had luck. Okay. But when it came time to come in and you're talking about his fight, and I don't even know if he's smart enough to talk about Wilder to draw interest to his fight. I don't want to say that he's doing that. I don't know. That's why I asked.
Yeah, because he wasn't. It was just a genuine reaction to the fight. Just like
that's
right
why I'm
now.
Telling you, he was being a clown, man.
No, he was being honest. This is honesty. Yeah. Look, again, 2018. Let's play it.
Obviously here with Chris Colbert. Talk to me about fifth.
Stomach look big?
No, just the power work. I was kind of hoping you seen the power work, see what you thought about his power, because he was looking pretty sharp to me.
I really think that's gonna be a great fight. He really have a big chance. He should have never took this fight before he took the Joshua fight.
He being who? Wilder.
Wilder.
Oh wow! So you think Wilder gonna win? I mean, lose?
I think it's gonna be close because Tyson Fury is so awkward and like he's smart. He don't do shit just to do it. He's smart. He know what the fuck he doing in there. Yeah. He hit and he grab. He's linky, awkward. Like he's smart. Like it's gonna be a tough fight for him. No matter how you put it, it's gonna be a tough fight.
How is his energy different?
Great analysis. Great analysis.
But how is his energy different? His tone even sound the same, man. His tone even sound the same. I'm just saying, I hate that he's being villainized because he gave a prediction. You breaking up, Bill? You walking around the mansion? Call you break up.
Yeah, my worry is that Wilder won't cut the ring off. You know, he likes to stay kind of flat-footed in the power stance. Hand. Exactly.
Tyson Fury got that jab, boy. He gonna step in with that stiff jab, boy, and grab the fuck out of him all night. He can't stop that. What he gonna do? Tyson Fury can withstand that right hand. What he gonna do?
I mean,
but they say his energy different. I mean, come on, man, just get that man. You know.
Hey, listen. That's great. Can you hear me, Ness?
You breaking up like you ain't there, Bill. You ain't there.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you now. We hear you now.
They keep having this Amber Alert right here. So, but okay, can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay. No, that was a great analysis. That was a great analysis.
Turn it sideways, Bill, because it blurs you out. Skype blurs you out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, no, that was a great analysis. A great way to break down.
But the energy, though, Bill. What about the energy?
That was a great way to break down 2 Hall of Famers. But what I'm saying is, when you get there and you laughing and you saying made him look like a sucker and all that kind of shit, right? Is to me is unnecessary. When you don't have a belt, you ain't made no money in there, so you don't know what one of the great fighters, and I don't know who y'all would probably quote who the main fighter is.
You gotta go. Okay,
Okay.
Nah.
Well,
Because remember, he said he talked about the money. He talked about it. Y'all didn't listen to the interview. Y'all didn't. He literally said, if they gonna keep putting these type of fighters in front of me, I'm getting paid well. I'm gonna keep knocking them over. He said it in the interview. He ain't mad at the opponents. He getting paid.
I said he hasn't made.
You say he hasn't made money.
He hasn't made the kind of money.
He's saying
he hasn't made the kind of money that he hasn't made the kind of money that Fury and Wilder has made. One thing you have to remember. One of the great fighters has said is, it's not easy. It's not as easy
to stay
going to the gym from. Huh?
My bad. I'm cutting you off thinking I was gonna finish your sentence. My bad.
No, don't listen. Listen, keep cutting me off, Ness. It's okay. We're gonna start singing together in a second. We'll get it together. But the thing that one of the great fighters has said is that it's not easy getting up in silk pajamas. I don't know which fighter had said that, right? But
wasn't it Hagler?
Yeah, I think it was Hagler. I didn't want to misquote him. But when you talk about that, right, now you almost want to give these guys props for also being able to come back out and fight, man. Come back out and show up. Now, when it was a lot of different ways that I looked at it before the fight was announced, right? When they were going back and forth, and I was like, so the arbitration, what's going on? When it came out that Tyson Fury was actually running from the fight or didn't want to do it and was doing everything, including going to arbitration, offering money, all that kind of stuff, right? I said, oh man, come on, man. You didn't only not was trying to go against your word, you was trying to go against your signature, right? So that was one thing that we definitely know that happened. All the other speculation, okay, you talk about that him being caught for using drugs, right? Right? A lot of things have led to whereas I say, man, you don't know what's going on, man. We may as well sit back like fans right now and just tune in for the fight, but keep bashing the fighter, whether it be Tyson, whether it be Wilder, especially during your fight week, takes a whole lot of energy, to me, unless you have an ulterior motive.
Yeah, man, I don't know, man. Being there, he had just finished the workout. You know what I'm saying? Just did an ice bath. I don't know what energy it took to sit down in a chair and do an interview, especially when I showed an interview from 2018, and he's got the same demeanor, same tone of voice, and the same energy, man. That's just Chris Colbert, man. Like, you ever heard of Mano? You ever heard of Mano?
So you think, huh?
You ever heard of Mano?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just Mano, right? Like, some dudes is just a certain way.
Yeah. But once again, I don't know the correlation between Mano and Chris Colbert. I don't see that.
The way Mano was very, like, blunt and aggressive. They're both from Brooklyn. They never, they don't bite their tongue. They say whatever's on their mind, Like, yeah, I think it's a good little analogy, I guess, from the rap world and from a Brooklyn person, right? Mano being from the same borough. But yeah, I guess not. Apologies. Like
I just wanted to let you. I wanted just to kind of, let you know how I felt about it, because I had some time. You know what I'm saying?
And I understand your point of view, Bill. I really do. I understand that you think it is better to focus on you and what you got going on, especially during fight week. Maybe Bill Haney would feel slightly different if it weren't fight week. But, being as though that Chris Colbert isn't a champion yet, you think he should be focusing on him and getting his career to that next level before he starts talking about a former champion. I understand. And believe me, I understand that he could have delivered the message in a different way as well. I'm not going to be naive.
And especially, and just especially since the guys are already fighting. right? The guys have already signed. The guys already have.
Yeah, but you got to understand, he's only doubling down. That's why I played that interview, because he said in 2018 he should have never took this fight before fighting Anthony Joshua. So he's only doubling down now by saying he shouldn't fight him. Wilder wilding, he shouldn't fight him. Tyson Fury got his number. Like, he literally said all this in the interview. So he's only doubling down on an already said statement from 3 years ago. He told Wilder not to take the fight.
Right, but I think that was it took it too far. You know what I'm saying? Especially not even in your weight class, and you not being a champion, right? You just getting started, right? Everyone giving you the benefit of the doubt, right? As a young fighter, right? I just think that part of it. It took a turn for the left, and you know. He was clowning, right? And that's why I say being a clown, right? He's just clowning, laughing, you know, not showing any seriousness, you know, talking about Wilder and Wilder. You know what I mean? It just was, to me, right? If he's saying Wilder was looking like a sucker, he's out here right now looking like a clown. And that's just my opinion.
All right, let me get some of these super chats, see what the people say, man. See who they agree with, man. We went to Supermax. And we got Austin. He says, he says, LV sound like a sucker. And that's one of our callers. And LV said, at Austin, I will be in Wisconsin for Border Wars. Say it to my face. All right, and then we got Cannabis Cove. Where are you? Cannabis. Who says, still crying, cheating with no proof. Pathetic. That's to you, I guess, Bill, because you said Fury was cheating. Are you frozen, Bill? Oh, shit, he's frozen, fellas. Should we leave him there? Who's up next? The heavy-handed... Oh, you're back. Did you hear that? Oh, that's not...
Hold on. Let me see. Shit.
All right, in the meantime...
Okay.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they said still crying, cheating with no proof. Pathetic.
Cheating. Did he not get caught using drugs?
Yeah, definitely. I think cocaine and Narnderdal or something like that.
Yeah. So I'm saying is, okay. Now, if you go to rehab, right? You use drugs and you go to rehab. What they say is, once a dope fiend, always a dope fiend, right? Recovering, right? So once a cheat, always a cheat. He's just recovering, a recovering cheat. Now, once he came back and then tried to not give Wilder the opportunity to have the fight again after you signed it, that's another sign that you're cheating, right? You know what I mean? Or you not being totally honest. Right?
Or shady character.
Or shady character. Thank you, Ness. Thank you.
Yeah. That shit was pretty weird, though. It was like trying to get out the fight. Heavy-handed edition says, keep being you, Ness. Man, thank you, brother. Why, thank you. Who else we got here? We got Davidian in Buffalo Falls, right? Niagara Falls, Buffalo Falls. He says, hey, Boxing Voice family, my bad, brother Ness. Didn't mean to mute you. Shaking my head emoji. Nah, no problem, Davidian. I unmuted, and hopefully you guys are able to listen on Skype at the moment. We got Big Chopper. Let's see. Big Chopper. He says, Ness, you know... They tried Tevin and turned down $2 million. He lost the belt on Dazn, dropped him. No, he lost the belt and Dazn dropped him because he don't sell. And Tank will knock Tevin straight. I get you, but none of that means that they shouldn't have done the fight. They should have done the fight. Like, yeah, now all you're doing is showing that it don't make sense to do the fight now. But back then it made sense. It made a lot of sense. You know what I mean? People were interested in that fight. It had self promotion. You know, and he could have checked the box, right? Like, give the people, oh, boom, the slick black fighter. I checked that box, you know? Next one is from Deadly X. Deadly says, shout out to Bill Haney for speaking the truth. Chris was clout chasing hard. Shout out to Bill Haney for speaking the truth. Chris was clout chasing hard, and now they blaming Wilder for taking down the video. I heard it was PBC. Everybody got a source, man. Yo, shout out to Bill, though. Uh-oh, Bill's nemesis. Let me see what Punch got to say. Punch! Bro, you're the voice of the people, not the voice of one boxer. Keep doing you, my brother. Real recognize real. Shout out to Punch. Thank you, brother. Next up, Raw Dog. Raw Dog, Raw Dog. My man said, Bill. He said, ask Bill, did Breland spike the water? No comment, Bill. I'm your publicist. No comment.
No. And what I want to say, most is that we got this fight coming. When is the fight happening? What's the date? Exact date?
July 24th.
July 24th, man. And that's a fight that we're the winners as fans, man. You know what I'm saying? The first fight was a hell of a fight. The second fight was a hell of a fight. And the third fight, you know, is going to be a hell of a fight. You know what I mean? So to keep talking about all these other things that happened, Wilder done signed up. They did the press conference, right? Let's talk about what's going to happen in the fight and who do we think is going to win the fight. You see what I'm saying? That's the intelligent way of assessing it. Now, but I don't know if talking about the other shit brings more views, brings more attraction to the fight. Then that's something from a marketing standpoint that you would know. You would know better than I would, Ness. You know what I'm saying? You would know the numbers, what the numbers do, you know?
What? For answering what? Well, the water question?
By keeping the shit up. Like, okay, so if controversy is what sells,
controversy sells. So, I mean, it would drum up more interest, and hopefully that would translate to pay-per-view.
Okay, well then why would PBC want to take it down then?
I mean, I'm assuming because it's like PBC on PBC slander, right? It doesn't look good for the company.
Right.
We got.
I want to see, was it PBC or Wilder? I've been curious to know who told you to take it down too. Was it part of management?
Bill, like I said, multiple people were called by multiple people to take that down, man. Take that down.
Use the left lane to make a U-turn.
Deadly
Was it anybody from Colbert's team?
I am not at liberty to say if you know, I want to remain safe, man, from death threats. I've got.
Well, that's what I'm saying is if it's mutually agreed, if it's something that's mutually agreed by both teams, then what is anyone to say? They're both on the same banner and they both agreed to do it. Why should Wilder take the biggest hit that from the people that they're saying that it was him?
Yeah, man, I don't know, man, but you could contact my attorney, man. I'm not at liberty to speak anymore after I've received death threats over the matter, man. So, unfortunately, I can only say but so much.
Are the death threats coming? Are the death threats coming out of Brooklyn? Is it Maine on them that's giving you death threats?
Man, I mean, I didn't know that it was this big. So, yeah, I'm getting even international death threats, to be honest with you. So, yeah, it's not just Brooklyn or, you know, Alabama, you know. Nah. It's definitely not. But you got a super chat says, shout out to Bill for speaking the truth. Chris was clout chasing hard. Oh yeah, we just went to that one. You got a double read. But we got another one from Punch. Bill, you got mad background, man. Is them headphones even plugged in?
Oh, that's what I got to do? Let me put them in.
Oh, shit. I thought they'd been plugged in.
No, because I got inside the car. All right. Is this better?
Yeah. Why am I reading the same one? Where's this other one he got? Oh, here it go. Oh, he said it twice. That's what it is.
Left for you.
No, here it goes. He says, and that's Punch Drunk Boxing says, yo, this PG culture and cancel culture is infuriating boxing. So now this is a gentleman's sport again? How about a want gray poupon, sir? Yo, shaking my damn head.
As Punch, has he seen Teofimo Lopez?
Punch, have you seen Teofimo Lopez?
I mean, you know, and as Punch, because President Trump, he had COVID and he addressed the people. You had Eddie Hearn, he addressed the people. You had Chris Paul, who was back 2 or 3 days. He was back on the court. I mean, why we can't see him? Why do we gotta wait? Why didn't he want to be vocal and show his face while going through it?
Oh, you talking about Tio?
Yeah, Tio. I'm asking Punch.
Wait.
I said,
so you questioning the COVID?
Well, listen, not if Punch didn't seen him, you know, because Punch he gonna keep it real if he didn't seen him or not, right? If he's seen him, then you know he didn't go up to the hospital and go see him or send any flowers or
to the hospital.
You know,
come on, Bill, you horrible, man.
What? No, I'm asking. I wish Tio well, but we haven't saw him. We saw Trump when he had the COVID. We saw Eddie Hearn when he had the COVID. Chris Paul. We see a lot of people do. You know, they do the FaceTimes. You know, I mean, and just let everyone know that they're doing well, right?
Yeah.
Why aren't we seeing that from Tio?
I mean, but now you're saying that everybody has to be public with their illness.
No,
their recovery.
I was just giving my opinion of what I've seen in the past about it. Now,
isn't it nice to be able to give your opinion?
No, yeah, absolutely, no, absolutely. No, everyone, like you said before, everyone has an opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's just if you are you clowning with the opinion, or are you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm fucking around. I'm talking shit, right? But I'm talking shit in the division that we're in, right? That we've had back and forth with the Tio family. You know what I'm saying? With Teofimo Sr. So you know what I'm saying? I don't think that I'm picking on somebody it's not warranted for me to pick on.
Definitely. Super chat for you, Mr. Haney. It became facts, Mr. Haney. It became beyond boxing. Clown emoji. So he's in agreement with you on the Chris Colbert situation. We're going out to Andrew. Andrew Gomez says, imagine if Ryan or Canelo made excuses like Wilder. I mean, I'm a Canelo fan, so I know he ain't gonna do none of that. He already took a loss to Mayweather that was a really bad loss. You know, I didn't pick him to beat Mayweather, but he got outclassed superiorly, and you know, he didn't make any excuses. He just bounced back. So I don't know, Bill. How would you answer that? You know,
which one? As far as Canelo?
Yeah, and you know, imagine if he made those excuses. If him or Ryan, it says him or Ryan.
Yo, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.